What do the old paintings tell us? Welcome. Today we look at the works of the dated painters of our past, and try to find out how the past formed into the present. The works of these painters can be viewed freely on the link in the description, so we do not go into their names further. The first painter is Jan van Eyck. This Belgian celebrity lived from 1390 to 1441, was a Flemish painter of the late Middle Ages and is considered the founder and at the same time the most famous representative of Old Dutch painting. He introduced a new naturalistic art era north of the Alps. Because of his perfect painting technique and his sense of a realistic representation, he was even called the king among painters by many authors. Let's consider the space of the church. Let's immediately notice that it is not a small building. The more interesting is the size of the woman, who, by the way, represents Madonna. Or here a man just holds a lamb in the palm of his hand. Here the relationship with a man and an angel. Next we have Lucas Cranach the Elder, a German painter who lived between 1472 and 1553. In addition to numerous altarpieces and allegorical paintings, he in his workshop also made a large number of portraits of his masters as well as the reformers Martin Luther and Philip Melanchthon. The Cranach workshop, which allegedly left around 5,000 paintings. Here we also see ratio large people, one kills a dinosaur or something. And a cutout of Hercules as he did, and of course the best at the end of how he kills a three-headed man. Here we also see that apparently offerings have been made to gain a higher standard of living. As we can see, inequality was already represented to you about 600 years ago. With the last picture of this artist, we also round it off. You see a dear person. Next, we have the works of Tiziano Vercelio, who lived in Italy between 1488 and 1576. He is considered the leading representative of Venetian painting of the 16th century and one of the main masters of the Italian High Renaissance. During his lifetime, he was often named Darkador after his birthplace. Here we also see at least two types of people. A sacrifice from an animal man. How an angel does it with a swan. And the resurrection of Christi with a very interesting flag. If anyone knows what this flag means, please leave a comment. Let's get to the flags in an extra video. Next we have Sandro Botticelli, who lived in Italy between 1445 and 1510. Of outstanding importance is his portrait art, which has sustainably shaped the image of the Medici and their party supporters. His late work has emotionally expressive features with reference to the Gothic. Some elements of his painting were later published by the Pre-Raphaelites in the 19th century taken up again. Art Nouveau also bonded with him in line and ornament. Here we also see a big and a small woman. Here we see a woman with a centaurus. Relatively quite large people but also some smaller ones. Here we see how people with red hair get hunted. Here you can see in the background how and with what the old rivers were used. For comparison, there are a lot of small people here. And next we have Michelangelo Buonarroti, who between 1475 and 1564 in Italy lived. Often only called Michelangelo, he was an Italian painter, sculptor, builder, architect, and poet. He is considered one of the most important artists of the Italian High Renaissance and far beyond. Here we see for the first time the flood and how people are trying to save themselves. And the most recent court. A strange person can be seen in the background. And here how the big people save the smaller ones. Here as they escape on clouds. And also a relationship between great people. Such a sculpture also exists. The next painter is Raffaello Santi, who lived in Italy between 1483 and 1520. He is considered one of the most important artists of the Italian High Renaissance. In addition to his career as a painter in Florence and at the Papal Court in Rome, he also became construction manager of St. Peter's Basilica and supervisor of Roman antiquity. Here we see a fight with a dragon. Here an angel kills a dragon. A woman with a snake or dragon. A great man who speaks to the crowd. A woman with a lamb, C ratio. And as an example, here is a lamb. Strange horses. The great woman who ascends to heaven. Here we have Jesus with the famous flag. Next we have Albrecht Dürer, who lived in Germany between 1471 and 1528, a German painter, graphic artist, mathematician and art theorist. With his paintings, drawings, copperplate engravings and woodcuts, he is one of the outstanding representatives of the Renaissance. Ruins can be seen here. Here a man kills a dragon. Here you can see a man with a fin kidnapping a woman. An angel fight where it looks like they are fighting people. Here the angels fight with dragons. Here is a seven-headed dragon. Here a woman is kidnapped on a unicorn. Here we see different people's sizes. And this flag reappears. Here you can see how the angels create flames on earth with the trombones and people flee. Here people with headgear want to cook a person. Here flames fall on these people with headgear from the sky. More-headed dragon, lion with horns. A man with a flag who kills a dragon. Man targets flying women with paws and fins. They have a monkey on a leash. And next we have Leonardo da Vinci, who lived in Italy between 1452 and 1519, was an Italian painter, sculptor, architect, anatomist, mechanic, engineer and natural philosopher. He is considered one of the most famous universal scholars of all time. Dragon fights with lions. Here you can see the woman with a swan and next to it children hatch from the eggs of the swan. Fight between rider and a dragon. That's it with the episode of the first drawing of the most famous painters of our time between the 14th and 15th centuries.
Hey bros, what's going on? This is Cotton. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because subscribing makes you feel good.